Pete, welcome.
Hey, Johnny, great to be on with you. Mike, great to hear from you again. Thanks for your support in the past. Friday,
good,
guys.
Pete.
We got a lot going on.
I tell you what do you think about the governor tries to cancel our rally? They wait 3 days. They could have got an injunction 3 days ago. They wait 3 days. You know why, Pete, they waited? Because they got the poll numbers and freaked out. Pete, we actually have a shot to win Virginia.
John, I think you're right. I actually think that Virginia can be the Democrats' new Wisconsin, right? They were asleep on the wheel. Took Wisconsin totally for granted, didn't even visit the state in 2016, basically ran no advertising or door knocking or anything like that, and it got away from them. So, John, I think it's a credit, obviously, to the president's policies, to the great job that you're doing as chairman of the Trump campaign in Virginia, and we have one hell of a shot, without a doubt. So, as it relates to the governor, it's funny, I don't know about you, but I don't remember any injunctions going out to stop the violent riots that have just destroyed homes and damaged businesses all throughout the Commonwealth. Tell me if I'm wrong. I might have missed it, but I didn't see any injunctions going out for that. Did we?
No, nothing. No. That was fine. So you can come and riot, and you can destroy property, loot, burn down the city of Richmond. Actually, the Democrats will encourage you to do that. But if you try to go out and do a rally for Trump at a Newport News airport at 9:00 on a Friday night, they try to shut it down and say there'll be body bags and cul-de-sacs.
Right.
Well, John, as you know, Burson and I we fell victim to those riots. We had a business that we've been involved with for almost a decade in Ledbury, which had its storefront in Richmond completely smashed in. All of its merchandise looted from the showroom. What was remained was covered in blood. Not a finger was lifted by the governor or the police or anyone. It's just and multiply that times dozens and dozens of more folks, people like Waller and Company, African American jewelry store, been around in Jackson Ward for over 120 years. They were completely smashed and looted. It's horrible. But this is politics at its worst. The governor and the Biden campaign sweating. They've been asleep at the wheel. John, you talked earlier on the earlier segment about all the door knocking and ground game that's going on in Virginia, and you told me the other day a really important point of the fact that how much more effective door knocking is today because people are actually home. Anyone who's been involved in politics have done door knocking. I don't know, what is your yield? 1 in 5, 1 in 10, whatever it may be. You get a whole lot of folks that just aren't home because people work. They pick up their kids. Everyone's home right now, and you know what? Politics, like it or not, is front and center in everyone's minds. They're engaged, and you've been running laps around the competition in Virginia. So great job to you and the entire Trump campaign.
Well, we're doing an excellent job. We got a bunch of young kids that are really working hard, and I said our state director, Justin Rice, I mean, I said this earlier, you're not going to see him walking around in a $3,500 Armani suit with an iPhone to his ear. He's out there working, and he knocks on doors along with his team every night, and I think that's why we're going to be successful, and I'm really excited about it. Pete, I've got a text here from Corey in Williamsburg. He says, big fan of Pete's, what he has done for small business. We sent you a photo from Amanda Batten's event in Newport News a few weeks ago. Tell us, give us an update on your Virginia 30-day fund.
Well, shout out to Corey. He's a great American doing amazing things in the community down in Williamsburg. And, Virginia's 30-day fund, which is a nonprofit that you know of, John, and many of your listeners do, that my wife and I started with some friends and neighbors in the first week of April with a single purpose of to help save as many small businesses in Virginia as we possibly could and as many jobs. It's been a whirlwind of activity, right? We were just knocking on the door, and in the next couple of days, we'll surpass 700 small businesses that we've helped save in the Commonwealth since early April.
Wonderful.
So just yesterday, we funded a roller rink in Clark County, an events planning business in Richmond, a pizza place in Midlothian, and a escape room right in our hometown of Charlottesville, Virginia. So, unfortunately, it's not getting any brighter for small business. We've had, in Washington, I don't think we're going to be getting a more relief package there. At a state level, there's been absolute ineptitude as it relates to helping out small business, and these mandatory shutdowns that are arbitrarily set, and they go back and forth. They have just crushed tens of thousands of businesses, small businesses all across Virginia. So these folks need help. John, as you know, this was only supposed to be a temporary thing for me and Burson. We called it the Virginia 30-Day Fund because we thought we'd only have to be around for about a month or 6 weeks to help get people back on their feet, and we're in quadruple overtime right now. So these folks still need help, and we're going to do everything we can. We are on pace to help over 1,000 small businesses. We have the funding for it, so we're going to be continuing to do that in the days and weeks ahead, and doing everything we can to prop up and secure the backbone of our economy, not only in Virginia but in America, which is small business and small business owners.
John Fredericks Radio Network. We're with Pete Snyder. Pete, founder, along with his wife, Person, of the 30-Day Fund, which is helping small businesses throughout Virginia, and we appreciate his work there. Pete, now you're coming to the rally tonight, right?
Absolutely. Burson and I are excited to be there with you, and we take particular pride in seeing you kick off the events tonight. John, I remember. I know Martha just said this in the last segment. You called me early one morning, way before, probably about a month before Trump announced, and you said, Pete, he's gonna win. I'm supporting him, and that he's going to be not only win the nomination but be our next president. And I'll be honest, I was a little incredulous. I wasn't quite sure that was going to be the case or not. And so you were the first person that I know in the country to predict that. And you've worked so hard. You've been number one on the Trump train from the very beginning. And it's going to be really cool to watch you kick things off and really, I think, have an opportunity. This is in spitting distance to pull off the upset of the century if you can help flip Virginia. If you flip Virginia and Biden doesn't win Virginia, game over. You help save our republic. It's that's it. So it's in your hands, brother. I know you can do it. We're going to help.
Well, thank you, Pete. And we need the help because all of a sudden, come from nowhere, this thing is in play. You heard John Pence on earlier. It's moved up on his radar screen. We kept telling the political arm at the White House, we kept telling them that they were overlooking Virginia, that the numbers that we were getting were going to be impressive. Finally, they popped through, and so the president coming, he'll be here several times, I believe. I talked to him, not him personally, but his staff the other day, and they're probably planning on 2 more. So we're really excited about it. Got a text here from Cole in RVA who says Joe Biden was here yesterday. She met with 6 voters in Henrico County. LMAO. Laugh my whatever off. She met with 6 voters. We're going to have 5,000 people tonight. 6. Now, of course, if she went to Charlottesville, UVA, she could only meet with 5 people.
5.
So she was one over the UVA restrict. She met with 6 people. I mean, how do you come to Henrico and meet with 6 people? I mean, do you see what's going on here? I mean, they can't even campaign, Pete.
Well, John, they're taking it for granted, which, they don't learn any lessons from 2016. The great thing, one of the many great things that the president had going for him in 2016 is that the chattering class, all the pundits, all the prognosticators that really live in a bubble and just operate on Twitter and talk amongst each other, wrote him off. They wrote him off. They didn't think he had a chance in hell to win. So he was defying expectations. The same thing happened this year. These people are falling into the same trap, and they're mailing it in Virginia, literally mailing it in, right? They're not going to go to the polls on Election Day. And that's to your advantage. But one of the really key things is that point that we talked before about the efficacy of door knocking and ground game during this period of time. You know, when 100 or 98% of people are home, and politics, because, you know, you can't even watch sports these days without it being all political, right? You get programming or state-sponsored media from, you know, basketball and baseball and football, all about politics and political slogans. It's front and center in people's minds. People want to talk about it. And your team out there, John, the Trump team out there, Nick Freitas' team, which is, you know, running circles around folks, Bob Goods, they're front and center. And they're getting the job done when the left is asleep at the wheel, or they're just trying to knock on Lindsey Graham's door at 7:30 in the morning, or do some crazy rioting in the street.
Ridiculous.
You know, they're focused on the wrong things. They're focused on the wrong things. It hurts America. John, you have an opportunity. The president has an opportunity, and we're going to help to pull off the upset of the century. That's it.
Yeah, and then
the Republic hangs in the balance, my friend.
I mean, can you imagine? I mean, if we win Virginia, it's over. I mean, there's no they can't even steal it, Mike. It's end of game. If we win Virginia, and it's going to be very close. And what's going to happen is we're going to build up a massive lead on game day, and that's why they're not going to be able to call Virginia at 10 like they normally do. It's going to be a massive lead. And then they're going to have to wait for the absentee ballots to come in, and you know they'll have 1 million of them, and they'll figure, well, that'll put them over the top if we're up by 750. But we're going to have a lot of absentee ballots that are coming in for us. So, I mean, they are just in a panic here. Yeah, I mean,
keep on hustling, Johnny. You're gonna warm folks up tonight. I'm really, again, proud of you, proud of all the hard work that you've been doing. But I gotta shift topics here for a second, and
go ahead.
I don't know what's going on. For the past 3 days in a row, I've woken up, gone outside, gone down to my office, and I passed the pig rig. And there's flowers on the pig rig every single day with a little note that says Fredericks 2021. I don't know what you're doing, trying to woo the pig rig away from me. So talk to me about this little boomlet here, Johnny.
Well, let's see. We got a lot of people that are enthusiastic about me running for governor, and certainly if I do that, I want the pig rig because he didn't. He's kind of tired of you. To be honest with you, I think he needs to be reinvigorated. He's kind of tired of he doesn't like Charlottesville. All the liberals there, and there's only 5 people that can come. So I'm thinking about if I get the pig rig and run for. I gotta. If I run for governor. Look, my first goal is going to be able to get your wife to vote for me. If I can get your wife in the pig rig, I think I'm going to win.
Johnny, look, here's the deal. If I were to run, I would certainly hope to have your support. But I got to tell you, and I'm always honest on your show, a Fredericks 2021 candidacy is a clear and present danger, not only to me, but to anyone in the field or anyone thinking about it. There is no doubt. I think you would not only split the Snyder household, it would be like two-thirds white. The pig rig would probably flip. You have a decent shot of getting the pig rig. Burst and Snyder would be with you. B can't vote yet, but she'd probably be wearing, Uncle Johnny 21 garb. It's a clear and present danger to me and to many, many others. I think you could knock out McAuliffe in a heartbeat. Look, I'm not going to lie. You'd be formidable. Let's see what happens, brother. So how the texts been or the phone calls are coming in?
It's overwhelming. I've kind of threw this out there. We've gotten overwhelming support. We're going to likely file paperwork. And look, the bottom line is, I'm the only person in Virginia. I love you, Pete, but I'm the only person in Virginia that can keep the Trump coalition together. I'm the only one that can do that.
I'll vote for you, John.
And Mike's going to vote for me. And
Absolutely.
I want roads, man. I mean, I like Kirk Cox and stuff, but he didn't raise taxes enough. I want
pig too.
I want roads, and I want light rail. I want trains. I want transportation. And Cox, forget it. I mean, he's a nice guy, but I mean, if you're going to he didn't get 81 fixed, right? I mean, he didn't do that. We need more money for roads, and and I'm going to freeze tuition for colleges, and I'm going to anybody else.
Hey, I'm with that. As you know, I fought against that the entire time I was on the William and Mary board. And we gotta whip our higher ed into shape, and
probably Republicans should go to college for free.
I mean, I know what it's going to be a populist campaign.
John, you would be formidable without a doubt. There's no one who's been a bigger supporter of the president than you have. And you would certainly split the Snyder household. But good luck to you, my friend. I'm excited to see you tonight, and let's see what happens with this Boomlet. The pig rig is playing footsie with you, and it's a little concerning to me.
I love the pig rig because I was going to go around and with the pig rig, and Fletcher in Richmond says, "Run, John, run! What the hell do you have to lose?" See, I love that attitude. Right. What do you have to lose? And I already got my campaign team set. I got and if it's a convention, I'm in because I'm just going to hire Bonnie and Clyde. I'm going to hire the Shores. I pay them whatever they want and have them rig it. And I don't even have to do anything, and I can be the nominee.
Absolutely.
Right? Just rig it.
Lay down. I
mean, they know how to rig it. So either way, a primary I win, a convention. Pete, the only way you can win a convention if you hire them before I do. That's it. Because they're just rigging.
Hey, we need your support. We need the pig rig. If folks are hurting for in small business, come apply with us, Virginia30dayfund.com.